Stream is starting. Countdown is starting. Ready. I also realized that the music that I typically use is supposed to go through VB audio cable. So let me set that up right now.
Why is there a thing from 3 days ago that just has 15,360?
I was doing math for something. I do not
And
remember
you
what.
decide to do it through Foundry instead of a calculator.
I don't just have a calculator on hand.
You have a computer which comes with a calculator app.
You also have a phone which comes with a calculator app.
So I needed to know 128 times 120. No, that couldn't have been for Satisfactory, because Satisfactory has an in-game calculator. I don't know, man. I think it was relevant to this game, but it might not have been also.
How would 15,360 be relevant to a train? What are you doing?
That's for me to know and for you to discern.
It's a damage calculation. He wants to see how fucking horrible it would be if you got run over.
Yeah, because this train is an eldritch abomination that has 128 wheels. Oh, you know what it is? That's the scaling for the map. Um,
Oh,
so you'll probably notice that the map is a lot bigger now.
it's 128. Oh shit. Holy.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I fixed the thing uh I fixed the thing to do with you remember how sometimes you're like clipping through uh or sorry, the walls weren't set up correctly before
Right.
with in regards to the train. So
Yep.
it's a little bit better now. Like each individual cabin should have a bit more space for you to like move around in. You should be able to go to either side of each room. Except for the last one for some reason. But that's where Arcos is, so you're not really going to be using that anyway.
Well, I can't move because game paused.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it should be paused right now because we haven't started the stream yet.
Fair.
Let's make sure to do some audio tests. I was listening to this one last stream. I wonder, can you guys hear the music now? It should be Oh wait, hold on.
Nope.
Now
I
can
don't
you
hear anything. Oh, there it is.
Here you go. So this is the music that I was hoping it would play throughout last stream. But here we are.
Very noir.
Yeah. I don't know if this one track, because this one track's on loop, I don't know if it's going to get the whole stream copyrighted, but if it is, then the audience can figure out the mystery for themselves, I guess.
Well, I mean, it depends on where you got the track. If you got it from a royalty-free site, then it shouldn't.
I got it from Spotify.
Noir themed.
I don't know. Let's just not use music for this one. If I'm not planning on looking for a song here. If it's gonna take this long.
Oh, we're just waiting on you.
Yep. So essentially. you guys last session were in the middle of sort of interrogating Arcos, and he sort of explained that your explanation of the crime is insufficient.
Yep.
So why don't you take it from the top? If I did kill him, how exactly did I do it?
Hey, Az, you think I could talk to you in private for a sec?
All right. What's up?
Okay, I'm gonna be real with you here. This approach is not working.
Oh, what made you think that?
I think we need to catch him in a position where any attempt at denial is just pathetic, to put it one way.
Yeah.
If this guy is our killer, we need to catch him with his pants down, metaphorically. Nah, you meant literally. I meant metaphorically.
Right. Well, how you plan to do that, considering he's already killed?
Listen, everyone has confidence until something goes wrong. All we need to do is make the killer think that we're getting too close for comfort. They'll panic and they'll fuck up.
All right. So then, what is the stuff that we do know? Other than, just that he fucking did it, because there's no doubt about that. What is all the stuff that we have that points towards him being the killer?
Don't look at me. You're the one taking the fucking notes.
Well, fuck you then. I thought this was a fucking team effort.
Hey, don't look at me. My position was keeping this asshole in line. I hate you too, buddy.
All right. Well, so the conductor died from some type of spell that burned him pretty badly, which Arcos has dragon's breath. How did he get there? Well, he has Misty Step. But there is the one thing of how did he actually get there with just a single Misty Step? Because I'm pretty sure it has a range of 30 feet. Probably gonna
Yeah.
need probably gonna need more than just that. And then other thing is the conductor had that brazier that he left up front all the time. Didn't take it with him. He left it there. It was his pride and joy. So probably going to be something there, because where is it?
I'm thinking our first step, find that brazier.
Yeah, I think that would be at least something that we can focus on right now.
Ah, so it's a scavenger hunt, huh? A violence-free scavenger hunt. Fun.
Well, shouldn't be too hard. I mean, it's 4 train cars.
You have like a summon dog spell or something?
I don't have spells. It's not something that I can do.
Oy. Well, this body is suited for like kill, 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 and more kill, and a dash of kill, just to surprise people.
Well, for starters, could think about where it could be, and then I can search. I could search it. Maybe you could search the storage car because there's a lot of shit in there. Probably dumped it in there after he did whatever.
Yeah. All right. If anything, I'm suited for heavy lifting.
Well, at least you got something.
hmm Uh, which direction was the storage car again?
Just behind me. I'm just, and
Yeah.
as I pass by, I'm just gonna shut the door, shut his door out. I don't want to talk to him.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Storage.
All right. Because Jeremy's helping you, roll investigation with advantage.
Invest. Event. 18.
All right. On an
Fucking
18,
Christ, 18? Well, the lowest was a 5, so that's good.
yep. Uh, on an 18, you can tell that not only is the brazier not here, but it doesn't even smell like it was ever in this train car.
Alright, so.
You do, however, find uh some of the uh cargo that Arcos was talking about. It
What
seems
cargo was he talking about?
he mentioned before that there was some cargo that were a fire
Oh,
spell to
right,
go
the
off in here.
volatile.
Yeah.
Right.
It seems like he is transporting certain machine parts that seem to contain sort of volatile chemicals within them. Uh, the uh, the actual purpose of these machine parts is somewhat unknown.
Okay. Well, since the brazier wasn't in here, at least that's how it smells, might not have come through here. I mean,
Wait a minute. What if? You're gonna share with the class, buddy? Look, I have nothing to really base this thought up off of yet. I'm not even sure I'm on the right track or if I'm just missing it completely. But I'd like to float a thought.
alright.
I've read a few mystery scrolls in my day, and, well, there's some cases where uh, near the end of a case, the detective figures out clues are either missing or there, specifically to give a false impression. Sort of like the impression of the location of the murder.
So you're saying that the murder didn't happen in the caboose? Potentially.
I'm saying there's a chance. I'm not saying it's certain. I'm not even saying that's how it happened. I'm saying consider the possibility.
Oh, absolutely consider a possibility. But at the same time, when Nisako did her spell, she found that there was the she did find that there was the one spell that maybe killed the conductor right next to the body. I'm forgetting names of stuff now. Oh God. Um, where where was where was the link? There's the link. I need the link. There, the evocation spell. That's what I'm trying to think.
Detect magic? Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
detect the trace magic, but the evocation uh
yeah.
class of spell.
Evocation is red.
Yes, which I'm saying there was the evocation right at the body. So
True, but we also have to explain the fact that despite knowing Misty's step, it doesn't have enough range to get to here without, doing it like more than a convenient amount.
could he have gone on top of the train and then get to the caboose that way? Use Misty Step a few times up there.
All right. Well, if we're going to continue working with that theory, maybe we should check the top of the train car.
Yeah, probably get Nisako along with us.
I'll bring her.
Is there actually like a way to get up top?
Yes. Hold on. If you
There are ladders?
just move here. Uh, yeah. There's ladders on the side of the train. Just wondering.
Ah.
Okay. I need to do these individually.
Oh. Oh boy. Ew.
Oh,
Neat.
for some reason this tile's off. One sec.
The train is 15 feet high? What the fuck?
Yeah, it was just I like to use increments of 15 feet so that large creatures it doesn't display a certain thing that says the floor is too tall for
Ah.
you.
Okay.
I don't know exactly how tall train cars are normally.
Probably not 15 feet, probably like 10 feet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyways, so Nisako, care to do your trace magic thing?
Absolutely. And she casts it up here. Now, originally, when I had designed this map, I was gonna be like oh hey, it would make sense if there was like these uh footprints, like these illusion-y footprints that go along the side here. Uh, but then I reread how detect traces actually works, and I had to rule that out.
Oh.
What you do see is there's a sphere about this big.
Oh. Hey.
Or not a sphere, but it's like an imprint on the ground that seems to have been made from a sphere.
And that is illusion.
Let me just double check if the size is correct. Okay, it actually should be about this big.
And just like that, your separate location theory is shot in the foot. Good job, buddy. I said it was just a thought, didn't I? Yeah, looks like you should leave the thinking to the professionals. You're saying you're a professional? Nah, I'm talking specs over here.
Uh, I
Oh, don't tell me you don't wear glasses.
I don't not ask for that. Is that fucking
Really?
what is that? 30
Huh.
feet wide?
Would have sworn you're the type. Looks like it's not just my theory that's shot in the foot. Ah, shut up.
Well then, this is uh
Isako walks in here and she says, "Well, it looks like she's speaking, but actually, wait, hold up. Let me just double check another thing." I just realized, sorry, it's actually impossible for this spell to be here. My bad.
I can't.
Sorry, that was an older iteration of the murder that had that one.
Okay.
So yeah, you guys actually detect uh Niseko casts it a bunch of times throughout the entire train, and you don't see any more new traces up here.
Okay. Right, so Misty Step is out of the question, at least for being on the roof.
Are we sure we have the right guy?
Well, he's got means and he's got motive, so that's enough for me. But I'm just going over what else he had in his spell book that could probably do something. Fuck is vortex warp?
Am I set up all the tiles incorrectly up here?
Well, let's just get back down from here.
Yeah, I'm all for the wind in my face, but you don't have a face right now. You know what I mean.
I, mm, I'm going to just, oops. I'm just gonna look at the body and just kind of go over it, see if there's anything other than the burns.
Hmm. Like you're checking for other stuff that's on his person.
Yeah.
So among the things that are completely charred, uh, he had a box of cigarettes. Um, he had a spell casting focus. I'm trying to think if there's anything I could give him that would help you guys.
Because, like, I have reasons for why it can't be Ilya or it can't be Victoria. But now it's just down to actually making sense of it and how it happened.
Pretty much.
Look, instead of looking at who could have done it, maybe focus on who couldn't have done it first.
Well, it can't be Ilya because she has color spray and there's only burns on this guy. There's nothing else. And color spray does a bunch of different stuff all at once. And it can't be Victoria because, yeah, because she doesn't have anything that does this kind of cone that whatever.
Are you saying this where Victoria can hear you?
No.
Okay.
Oh wait, never mind. She does have burning hands. I. Why is it fucking called burning hands if it's a fucking cone? I'm expecting that to be like touch.
Because when you cast the spell, you extend your hands and the fire comes out from your fingertips.
Yeah, but when it's called burning hands, I'm kind of expecting it to be a touch based, not a ranged.
In that case, it would be
Like, oh,
burning.
your hands are on fire now. Fucking burn you.
Mm. I would think of that as like burning fists, so that like it gives the idea that like, hey, you're setting your hands on fire to punch them.
Just don't think it could be Victoria just because of all the conjuration stuff that's showing up. Unless it's like Ilya, just she's or unless it's like Ilya, where it's just they're there, doesn't mean anything. Okay, so now I'm just trying to think what each of the spots are, because got the evocation one, which was likely what killed him. Then there's the conjuration spot, which, considering the proximity with Victoria, could probably have been the familiar.
Okay.
So
Then
to
there's
sort of
the
replace where everyone was, Victoria was here when the spell went off. Or at least she was there when you got here.
yeah, but then she back up once we got in, and
Yeah,
then so like, oh, the spider was
once you
right
went
around there.
once you went into the room, you left the room and you came back, and Victoria was stomping on it like here or something like that.
Yeah, so then that is maybe where the familiar was, if that's what that spell is.
Yeah.
Then the green illusion spot, in the cargo, that is most likely Ilya when she cast invisibility. Most likely to get back the green spot, and the other illusion spot in the passenger car, that's again Ilya. But the blue conjuration just outside of the passenger car don't really have a good explanation of. other than what Arco said, saying that he heard something, so then he went over there. So then that's really the only thing that doesn't have that good of an explanation, considering it's him, and I think it's him that did this shit. Because all he said was he heard something loud hit the ground, enough for him to go over and investigate. So I'm going to look over this spot, see if there's anything.
Hmm. Something that you can see here. And if this were earlier in the investigation, I'd probably have you roll investigation for this. But since we're kind of at like a stuck point, uh, something that you see here is a hairball, sort of in the corner there.
Okay. So again, probably something with the familiar. But why? Do familiars just act like normal animals when they're not given a command?
According to the spell description, your familiar acts independently of you but obeys your commands. You can communicate with it telepathically. Familiar is an ally to you and your allies. It rolls on its own initiative and acts on its own turn. A familiar can't attack, but it can take other actions as normal. It does not say.
Okay, well, so two spots where it's most likely to be a familiar. Because then that's... Because if it was Ilya that did that, then it would be No, never mind. Never mind. Never mind. Because Ilya doesn't have anything that would be conjuration, at least I'd think. And neither does Victoria. It's only Arcos that has something that would be conjuration. Whether it be the fucking summon Fae or his familiar. And Ilya said that she saw Arcos just standing there for a bit.
Misako is going to come up to you and she is going to sort of say, a thought crossed my mind that uh, It seems like you think of conjuration as just summoning spells, when teleportation spells also count as conjuration.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. And I have thought of that, just it's looking like familiars are in each of these spots, and that's the part that's annoying right now. Yeah, because Vortex Warp is only 90 feet. That's not enough to get to the other side. Misty Step's only 30. That's not enough to get to the other side. God. Ah! Unless I'm not supposed to think about actual distances.
No, the distances are important.
Yeah, exactly. Because
But something else that she can uh, tell you is, can I read the spell description again?
for which one?
Vortex warp.
Magically twist the space around another creature you see within range. Okay, yeah, so it has to be something else. Target must succeed on con saving. The target is teleported to an unoccupied space of your choice that you can see within range. Present space must be on a surface or in a liquid that could support the target without the target having to squeeze. At higher levels, when you cast a spell using a third. Oh, range is it? Oh, I wasn't looking at that. Fuck. God damn it. So, could be increased by 30 feet. So, 120. So, he could get teleported over. Okay. Okay, so he got teleported over.
I'm stupid. This is supposed to be like the actual clue, and I'm misjudged the distance.
Okay, well, that changes literally fucking everything now. God damn it, Devin.
Yeah,
So,
the
yes, he teleported him over. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. So he teleported him over. Did did anybody see him go back there though? Is Ilya Ilya did her thing. Fuck. She did it. She did her thing. Ah, fuck. I didn't note that down. Ilya says she did her thing before Victoria went over, because that, yeah, right. So, so he's been dead for a while. That or, no, I was gonna say that or Arcos killed him, then teleported his body, but that doesn't make sense because the spell is there right now. There, it shows up there, nowhere else. And you can't have your familiar do anything.
so just a reminder, Ilya cast the illusion spell when she saw Victoria, when she heard Victoria coming into the train car.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
She like she did her invisibility and illusion, then went over, then as Victoria was coming through, she cast it again. Right?
Take a look at detect magic again, or detect traces.
I don't have access to that.
It's in the link.
It's in the link. Oh, right, that. Yeah, it's the green, right?
Yep, take a look at the description in game.
Uh, Trigger 2 times when a spell is cast. Oh, right. It's casted or created 2 times when a spell is cast. Right. I, eh. I am way too fucking stupid, dude.
Smarter than me.
2 times. First position and spells cast. Second is when the effect resolves or dissipates. Right. So okay. So the one position in here is the invisibility and the illusion. This one would that would have to be that would have to be when invisibility runs out. Okay, hold on. How does invisibility work? Becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wait. Creature you touch becomes invisible until the spell ends. Anything the target is wearing or carrying is visible as long as it's on the target's person. Spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell at higher levels. When you cast a spell, use a third level slot. Target an additional creature. Okay. Except she admitted to using invisibility to sneak back. Oh my.
Another thing that might help with the investigation is, do you remember the other illusion spell she admitted to using?
Uh, yeah, minor illusion, right? So that she could put the figment of her right there because everybody else was saying she was super still for a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah. Which that's why I said there's the 2 spells at her seat.
Hmm.
The invisibility and the minor illusion.
Exactly.
So invisibility had to run out over here, which is why there's the second one. But then I'm just trying to think. Did he just walk over there? Because there's nothing else. It's just teleported him, then he walked over, fucking did his spell, walked back. It doesn't make sense, though. Well, it makes sense. It's just people would see.
There's people you can ask.
Fuck it. could have sworn that I already did, and people were just saying like, "Oh, well, Ilya, she was being a little weird," but that was it. I just go up to some of the people who describe Arcos and say, "Have you seen him?"
So Ilya did say yesterday that he walked into the room uh, about I'll have her say it again. He walked into the room about halfway or so. It didn't look like he was um, out of it so much as it looked like he was. Uh, it looked like he didn't see where he was going.
I could have sworn that you said that he was just right at the conjuration point and just staring in.
Well, he looked in for a little while before he moved into the room.
God damn it, Devin. Okay, so couldn't see where he was going, so then that's him getting blinded by the familiar by this familiar shit. Was that before or after Ilya did her attempted thievery?
Oh shoot, yeah, you're right. Ilya wouldn't know this, so you hear this from someone else that he walked into the room.
Okay, so it was during.
It was during.
And okay, so that was during her whole thing. Then when did Victoria start storming through? Did Arcos
It was
leave the
it was
area
before
or
it was before Arcos entered the area.
okay. So
And it was in fact not only before Arcos, but after you. So basically the order of people that walked through here are Victoria went through, then Arcos. Sorry, Victoria went through, then you, then Arcos.
okay. So he and nobody saw him go through completely.
Correct. They say he stopped sort of in the middle of the train car.
Okay. And vortex warp only works on another person, right? Or can it be another person and self?
I think it's an or thing. Let me double check. Around another creature you see within range.
Because then, at least for me, it's a thing of he teleported the he teleported the conductor while he's still alive. Then he teleported himself. Did the did the fucking dragon's breath, teleported back. But then that feels like it's way too much. Because then the so
Keep in mind that spellcasters have only a set
yeah,
amount of resources to
yeah,
cast some
there's
magicals.
limited. That's why I've stopped myself right there. Huh. Okay.
Take a look at the number of spells that you can cast of second and third level.
Right. Okay. So to do Okay, so Dragon's Breath would be one. The teleport would be another. Then he couldn't teleport himself back in two and back. Because then that's too many. That's one extra second level slot. He so that So fair choice that you see within range. Then you choose the space must be on a certain zone. But then third level summon Fae is 90 feet. So saying like half. That sort of works out. So then that could be something. Manifest and occupy space you see within range. Creature resembles a fey creature. There's a disappears when it drops to 0 or the spell ends. Creature is an ally. In combat, the creature shares your initiative count, but it takes turn immediately after yours. It obeys verbal commands. If you don't issue any, it takes the action. Takes the dodge action, uses it to avoid danger. And it's a conjuration. Okay, so what I'm thinking now is teleport the conductor, walked in halfway, sent his familiar out, or summoned a Fae, then sent the familiar out. Then the familiar killed him?
There
God.
was a notification. Hold up. Let me see. First time chat. Solid 10 D&D. How's it going?
Hello. This is
Eh,
not going
five and a
well for
half.
me. My God.
Welcome to the daycare. We're solving a mystery.
Poorly.
Poorly.
You guys want to give them a rundown of what's essentially happened so far?
Not a heckin' thing.
It's just more questions. Because holy fuck, I'm stupid. So,
I don't blame you.
my
I
God.
probably should have tested this with my other group first.
Yeah, you probably should have.
Yeah. Because some of these require a bit of intricate knowledge of, sorry, not intricate knowledge. Hmm.
You gonna finish that sentence or not?
Okay, so basically, this case hinges around a an interesting interaction between two spells, where one
So
spell is
you're
used to by
seriously
where one spell is used to bypass the limitation of another.
okay? So you're seriously just gonna say that when it's me really trying to solve this, and I know fuck all.
To be honest, I thought Phoenix would be helping you more.
You're counting on me to do brainy work.
You seemed to do all right with it the last time I gave you a mystery to solve.
Yeah, because I had more people to piggyback off of.
Oh, god damn it, Devin. So there's some mechanical bullshit going on that I don't know. Awesome.
I can have Niseko help you out with it when you sort of reach that contradiction. Like when you start to rule out the possibility of it.
Okay, so for him to teleport the conductor with vortex warp and wait on. When you cast at third level or oh, when you cast at third level or okay, so teleport the conductor, that'll take a third level slot.
I'm wondering why you think he needed to teleport the conductor.
Oh. Well then, this is why I'm bad at mystery games. I get so stuck on a single way of thinking, and then it's like really difficult for me to move out of that.
Yep. I'll have Niseko try to help you out with hints a bit more in this one.
Okay, so not teleporting the conductor. Most likely not now. So he would teleport himself over at third level so that it has the extended range. Then he could also teleport himself out at third level still, and still have a second level slot for Dragon's Breath. Because he has three second level slots. So then that would be one way. But the reason to get the conductor out and looking probably definitely has to be something with the brazier, just because it's his pride and joy. So we had to do something with that. But then where is the brazier? I'm going to look for the bra look for the brazier in the caboose, see if it's in there first.
Roll investigation.
19.
You don't see the brazier itself, but sort of out here on one of the steps, you see what looks like the handle of something. There's uh on the side of the train car, it looks to be chipped a little bit. Uh there's like someone struck it with something metal. And there's the handle, like a brass handle of something, on one of the steps.
I'm gonna take that brass handle and show it to Victoria and see if she recognizes it at all. If it's like different for whatever.
Yep, that looks like the handle of it.
Okay, so something metal struck it, or it got struck with something metal?
Like the corner of the train car looks like it got struck with something metal. And right next to that corner is on the stair. There's the brazier.
Okay. So,
Like that's definitely the handle of the brazier.
right then, where is the rest?
On the looks of it, it was broken with some amount of force.
More force than what a human could probably muster. Or at least
She
humanoid.
she grabs the handle and she tries to like bend it, and it doesn't seem to be bending really at all.
Hmm.
Yep, probably.
Yeah,
Hands
brass
it back
is
to you.
pretty tough. Okay, so then probably.
What if it was used on something?
Yeah, probably.
You think it could make a good pry bar in a pinch?
Probably. The only thing is, what would it be used to pry open on here in this scenario? But the
I mean, it looked like
part
someone
that
was shuffling through the cargo, but I don't know if any of it was pried open.
well, shuffling through the cargo, that was probably Ilya trying to look for that piece of amber. Probably. Not ruling anything out there. But I'm thinking that it may have been broken by Arcos using his summon Fae. But then, if that's true, or
Wait, where was it found again?
just off the side of the caboose.
I think it was used to enter the caboose.
I mean, there wasn't anyone in here aside from the conductor when I entered.
I'm just gonna look over the door to see if there's any damage done to it.
It doesn't look like there's any damage done to the door. It looks like the majority of the damage is just to the side of the train here. Side of the
Hmm.
caboose.
Well, also, it can't be summon Fae, because if it is the way that I'm thinking he did it, then Vortex would have been used twice at 3rd level, and he'd be out of 3rd level slots. If it's done the way that I'm thinking, but I could be wrong. I keep pressing C like that's actually going to open up his shit.
You keep talking about summon Fae, but I haven't seen any Fae around.
Yeah, it's probably not that. But it does have that familiar, but nothing. It's nothing that is going to be able to produce that much force to break a piece of brass.
I mean, what about the motion of the train itself?
Yeah, I could have thrown it.
There's an idea.
So maybe he got his familiar to take the brazier from the front, sent it back here to the caboose, which would give the conductor a reason to investigate, looking for his prized possession. Then Arcos would vortex warp back here, use Dragon's Breath, vortex warp back, and pretend like nothing happened. And his familiar would be back here so that he could have line of sight of the area.
Well, then a couple things don't make sense, because if he vortex warped in here, and then he cast Dragon's Breath, and then he vortex warped out, that would be 3 actions, and I would have seen him during at least 2 of them.
Hmm.
To recap, when I got in here, I came in through this door, and I was standing about here when the conductor just sort of combusted right here. Let me actually put the
Right.
I forgot to put the cultist guy back to show where the body was.
He combusted when she walked in. You can't have a familiar do attack actions, I don't think, at least. Probably would have seen it too.
I wonder, the familiar can't do attack actions, but I wonder if there's some other action it could do.
Okay, your familiar acts independent. Always obeys your command. In combat, it rolls with its own initiative on its own turn. A familiar can't attack, but it can take other actions as normal. What would... When it draws 0, it disappears, leaving no physical form. It reappears when you cast the spell again. While your familiar is within 100 feet, it can communicate telepathically. Additionally, as an action, you can see through the eyes and hear what it hears until the start of your next turn, gaining the benefits of any special senses that the familiar has. During this time, you are deaf and blind, regardless with regard to your own senses.
So what
An
if
action
there
you can
was...
Wait.
temporarily.
Go for it, Jeremy.
Yes.
Deaf and blind.
Yeah, when he walked in to the middle, he was deaf and blind. Maybe because he looked kind of out of it.
So that's gotta be the time when he was controlling the familiar.
Yeah, that would make sense. If it's 100 feet from the middle, yeah, that would make sense. So he used the familiar to peer in. But then what could he do with that? Because then not too long after, or wait, am I getting my time frame mixed up now?
So the familiar was in here. That was probably that spider thing that I stepped on.
That's what I'm thinking.
I wonder, was it just for surveillance? Or was there some
That's
other
what I'm
action
trying to
that he
piece.
or was there some other action he could make it do?
That's what I'm trying to piece together. As an action, you
I
can
mean, the
temporarily
familiar could have been the one tossing the razor.
Yeah, but then how would that explain Victoria seeing the conductor die pretty much right in front of her without Arcos being nearby and the familiar being in the room? What could the familiar have done? So, what does Dragon's Breath do? You touch one willing creature and imbue it with the power of spew magical energy from its mouth. Provided it has one, choose acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison. Until the spell ends, the creature can use an action to exhale energy of the chosen type in a 15-foot cone. Each creature in that area must make whatever. Higher levels when you cast the spell, third level slot. No, doesn't matter. Okay, so he imbued his familiar with Dragon's Breath. Then the familiar was the one that killed him. Because it's just an exhale. It's not a direct attack.
Shit, so that's how he did it.
Alright, so from the top, got his familiar to take the embrasure, sent it all the way back here. Conductor went looking for it, came back here, and since the familiar was already around, or rather he imbued it before, he imbued it with Dragon's Breath. Talking tough. He imbued it with Dragon's Breath before he sent it out. Sent it out to get the embrasure, sent it over to the caboose. Then Conductor went looking for it, and he, Arcos, would go to the center of the passenger car, look in through his familiar's eyes, and make his familiar cast Dragon's Breath, kill the conductor. He pops out and goes back to his room, pretending like nothing happened. God damn it, dude. I'll be right back.
Okay then.
Okay.
Back to the game.
Alright, so we now have the most likely story of what happened. Time to confront. We yeah, yeah, right there.
You know what? You have fun confronting him. I got an idea.
Your idea being?
Hmm, well, it's a surprise.
Alright then.
And while he's confronting him, Jeremy's gonna slip out the exit and start shimmying across the train.
Okay. When we cut back to you, you being sorry. When we cut back to you, I'll have you roll athletics. But until then,
Okay.
uh, Asmodai, when you open the door, you you see Arcos throwing a little some sort of rodent on the ground, and the owl just swoops down and grabs it in its talon and starts just eating it right there.
Well, alright then.
Mr. Sheriff.
It finally got the story for what you did to the conductor.
Interesting.
So,
I'm all for
before
hearing
I,
more wild theories.
sure. Before I really get into it, how about set up your motive first off? Best place to start. So, you've already said that you and the conductor knew each other beforehand, and what would your reason be for killing someone that you once called a friend? Well, he burnt your spell book, which you are so desperately trying to get back together right now. And you feel that probably get some revenge on him a bit, which you would have heard about him recently coming into possession of a certain brazier or a certain brazier that he absolutely adores. So he took something you care about, you're going to take something he cares about. At least how it started. Any snide remarks?
He says, you have a point. But if that is my motive, then how exactly would I have killed him?
Well, it took me a fucking lot of time to figure that out. But what you did was you imbued your familiar with dragon's breath. Then you would send your familiar out to the front, grab the embrasure, send it all the way back to the caboose, and just ditch it. So the conductor would then be looking for it. He would go to the back. He would go to the back looking for his prize possession, and you would make your way to the passenger car, where you would start looking through the eyes of your familiar. While you're doing that, you would have your familiar cast Dragon's Breath, killing him. Anything else that you have to say?
And was Diaz seen in the back car? Because he was with me the whole time.
Well, funny, because people saw you walking in the center of the passenger car. I don't recall them saying that you had your familiar with you.
Why don't you go and ask them?
God damn it, Devin. I hate you. I swear to fucking God. Keep pressing C to close it. Fuck you. I hate you so much.
They do confirm that he had his owl with him.
Wait, hold on.
While we're waiting and
Does he
holding,
have minor? Does he have minor illusion?
No.
while we're waiting and holding on, Jeremy, you're on the outside of the train car. What are you doing?
I'm just trying to sneak to the opposite end.
To the opposite end, as in like the opposite end of his room or the opposite end of the train car?
Yes, opposite end of his room. Not making my presence known just yet.
Okay, in that case, roll stealth.
Yeah, I'm not a sneaky dude.
When
Shouldn't be surprising. I mean, look at me.
you get outside his window, and uh, you don't seem to have as good a grip as you would have thought you'd be able to get. So you put your hand sort of on the windowsill, uh, and as you grab a bit too tight, and the window just cracks. There's this big crack that shoots through the center of it. Uh, and he turns around and notices you. What do you think you're doing? He says, but uh, you can mostly you can hear him very faintly.
Investigating the side of this sidecar. You know, got to do a thorough investigation.
He face palms and then he goes back to his reading.
When the passengers say that he had his owl with him, was it the actual, like, oh, God damn it, I don't even know how to fucking ask this. I hate this.
They mention it.
Oh my
They mention
God.
that it coughed up a hairball.
Why the fuck would an owl cough up a hairball?
Owls. I think they have a different name for it.
It's a pellet.
Yeah, it coughs up a pellet. Because essentially, when owls do this, like they can't digest the hairs and bones of all the rodents
Yep,
that they
I
eat.
know.
Yeah.
Hmm. Wait.
The minute that I think that I've got this
Hey,
down, and just immediately, no. Sorry,
you're
what?
you're sure the owl is your familiar, correct?
What's that supposed to mean?
I
Oh, are you just saying like it's just a pet owl? It's not his familiar? Is that what you're trying to get at?
mean, maybe. I mean, who's to say that hairball wasn't his familiar?
You know what? Just out of curiosity, if the owl is your familiar, how about you recall it for a little while? You can dismiss him.
He seems taken aback by this. And he says, "You misunderstand. Dio is flesh and blood."
Yeah, so he's not your familiar. So you sent you sent your actual familiar.
You notice a bead of sweat come down his head when he says this. When you say this,
So I'll say it again. You sent your familiar to the back with dragon's breath. Then you use found familiar to look through your familiar's eyes, your real familiar, and you made your familiar kill the conductor. I was fucking right. Just fuck you.
it's important to make the distinction.
Fuck off.
Hmm. All right then. Go ahead, arrest me. And he puts out his hands.
Manacles.
Yeah, yeah. He says, "You figured out enough of it. The more thorough explanation is that the brazier was not sent with my familiar. I sent him with vortex warp. The brazier was thrown out the side and it just happened to shatter against the side of the caboose. after vortex warping my spider familiar, I did have it get into a position where it would look like uh, the dragon's breath was burning hands, where I could incinerate the conductor. You did very well to figure out that some of the that some of the magical traces had overlap. Where the familiar was killed in the same place it was warped to.
Wait, hold on. So what is he saying about the embrasure? Is just happened to fucking get launched? What?
Vortex warp, I'm guessing, creates a gust of wind.
No, vortex warp is like Misty Step, but you use it on someone else and it has greater range.
Yeah, so he sent his familiar to the back, right?
He sent
Because
his
there's
yeah.
nothing up front.
So basically, he was like, no, he was here when he sent his familiar to the back while he was, after he had cast Dragon's Breath, he warped his familiar to the back, uh, over here, right beside Victoria.
Yeah, right.
Uh, as soon as Victoria had opened this door to the caboose. Because you remember
Yeah, but
Victoria
then
was opening every door one by one.
how did the brazier go? How did the brazier get fucking launched out and hit the caboose?
So if you recall, the brazier was in this train car here at the front.
Yes.
Uh, so after all of this had sort of went down, he went to the front of the train, grabbed the brazier,
Oh, so it was
and just
planted evidence.
no, he was trying to dispose of it.
Oh.
Layla the J, first time chatter, let's go. We're playing some D&D and they just solved the mystery. I'm just clarifying some extra details now.
I mean, solved is putting it mild. I mean, not mild. Generously.
You guys did figure out essentially how he
The
did it.
broad strokes.
I don't know if the other two can see your chats, Layla, but I can see it.
I can. I'm looking at it
Yeah.
now.
Look, we're not the smartest of people. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's also a thing of like some hints were sort of necessary just because they require a bit more knowledge of the 5e system.
Yeah, that's not good for me.
Yeah, but
Nor me.
but once you guys
I'm a D&D noob.
once you guys got once you guys got a few of the hints, you were able to piece it together. Like a lot of these are just hints that I would expect to have to give people who aren't as familiar with the system. So it's
Yeah.
like uh by like I don't expect you guys to be able to just like look at the base evidence that comes with the case and just immediately be able to solve it. It's a collaborative storytelling process. Anyway, the brazier was discarded just out of spite.
So it was
Mm.
after. So it was after the conductor
So
already
it was
died.
basically just a fuck you.
Pretty much to the conductor.
Okay.
I'm going to check if Clover is up. Because there's something that I might have her come in and say if she's awake.
I doubt it. Although it is 7, so maybe.
Yeah, but she also went to bed late last night.
That is true. Yeah, her last message was at 7:30 in the morning, so
So assuming that she's getting like I think she usually takes around 10 hours of sleep, just having insomnia as a buffer time. Yeah, so uh basically what happens is uh Arcos sort of melts into shadows. Uh and from that sort of shadowy puddle uh emerges Nancy.
eh.
And she says, interesting. So something like this can work as a training exercise. The uh the scene sort of melts and you guys are back in Nancy's house. Um you guys are you guys have woken up uh from seemingly some sort of dream and Nancy
I'm
is
sorry. What?
What the fuck, Nancy?
Okay. What the hell?
this was a test of using dreams as an intellectual training exercise. I can see that I probably should have separated the two of you, saying as Asmodai sort of carried the whole thing. Though there were a couple key instances where the brute was of use.
Look, next time you make a simulation, maybe make something I can actually enjoy, like killing things. That's fun.
The point isn't to get you to have fun, it's to get some information through your thick skull.
Information like what? There's fucking nothing that I could have gathered from that other than you're a bitch.
Maybe it's to think outside the box when it comes to spells.
That's part of it.
Neither of neither of us know spells, Jeremy. That's only Yuriko.
Look,
That's
maybe
part of it,
not us.
but it's very likely that you will encounter spellcasters in the future who use more underhanded tactics with their spellcasting. By combining the effects of different spells, they can do things that you wouldn't expect from the base effects that are listed in the spell descriptions. I've exposed you to to a couple such contradictions and combinations that these spells can provide. So now, if you encounter these in the real world, you'll be better equipped to deal with them.
Hmm.
I'm not a fan of being a goddamn guinea pig. Don't do that
Yeah,
shit,
if I
game.
wanted to be fucked with, I would have stayed with my siblings. I mean, I thought it was pretty fun. Yeah, well, you're in the minority, buddy.
This experiment isn't just for my amusement. It is, after all, training. Enjoy the rest of your nights. I'm going to get back to my studies.
Mm. So, are what do we do with what we've learned? Ah, how should I care? Bitch is barely canon anyway.
Oh yeah, the other thing is that
What?
now
What?
the other thing is that now you guys Asmodai, you cannot hear Jeremy anymore, you can only hear the mask.
Yeah, I forgot about that for a second. What did you say about
What about it?
canon?
Yeah, what sort of canon? Ah, forget it.
You lords don't make any sense.
Yeah, feelings mutual, buddy.
And with that, it is time to end the stream. Thank you all for joining and doing this little mystery with me. Thank you to Clover for letting us hijack the Thursday stream while you are passed out.
And the Sunday stream.
And the Sunday one while you were visiting family. So hopefully we'll be able to continue the normal adventure this coming Sunday. So stay tuned for that. We'll have our regular DM back.
With real canon.
And lots more gunpowder, maybe. For the cannons.
I'm not an artificer, and none of us are.
I forgot to put it on the EVN stream, so now I have to say something else while we're here. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.